We went from Operation Wandering Soul during Vietnam to Voice to Skull technology within a couple of years. Operation Wandering Soul was a PSYOP campaign that was carried out by U.S. soldiers during Vietnam. It played off of Vietnamese spiritual beliefs, especially with death in the afterlife. The U.S. and South Vietnam forces created these eerie ghost recordings. There was ghostly cries and wails and voices all in Vietnamese, designed to sound like the voices of dead Viet Cong soldiers. They were hoping to lower morale or prompt desertions or at least disrupt sleep. Now, reports on how well this worked are kind of mixed. I think they should have just used the Voice of Skull technology that was already available. After the Vietnam War, the military and intelligence agencies continued their research into non-lethal weapons and crowd control methods. There are declassified documents from the 70s all the way through the 90s that shows interest in things like acoustic weapons, infrasound, microwave auditory effects, and subliminal messaging. This research is often tied to DARPA and the CIA, with projects like SSSS, Silent Sound Spread Spectrum, and the Psychological Operations Doctrine. One of the most interesting is the Fry effect, or otherwise known as the Voice of God tech. This is the microwave auditory effect, and it is a well-documented phenomenon. It is where people can hear sounds or speech that is directly produced inside their head. This is when they're exposed to certain pulsed microwave frequencies. The Fry effect is named after Dr. Alan Fry, and he was the first one to publish about it in 1961. That's right, 1961. And this is how it works. When pulsed microwave energy hits the human head, it causes a very slight rapid heating of the tissue. This heating causes tiny thermoelastic expansions that occur in the brain and the inner ear. These expansions create acoustic waves inside the skull, which the auditory system interprets as sound, even though no sound wave is entering through the ear from the outside. And the result is perceived clicking or buzzing, could be hissing, or if encoded correctly, could sound like words. Now, the sound is not subconscious. It's consciously heard, but it seems to be coming from inside the head instead of externally. Now, the U.S. military funded research to see if they could use this in voice transmission or as a non-lethal weapon. And there are declassified documents from the 70s and the 80s showing these experiments. And this is where the rumors of the Voice of God tech came from. And of course, there is no public proof that this has ever been used on civilians. But I personally think it's crazy to think that we've had this technology since 1961 and it's never been expanded, explored, or used. What are your thoughts on this?